Hey everybody, Crystal Gamer here, and welcome to my channel and to today's tutorial on Mansard Roofing, also called French roofing, because it was made popular in the 17th century by a French architect named Francis Mansard. And it's a four-sided roof that's got steep slopes on the sides that are often filled with dormers, and it has a much more shallow upper slope that often isn't even visible from the street or at close proximity because the angle of that lower slope is so steep. And I know we've all seen these around before. And I also know that this tutorial is a bit longer than most of my tutorials. Now, don't be intimidated by that. It's a little bit longer because there are a lot of steps here, but it's not that complicated. So yeah, definitely don't be intimidated by the length. If you hang with me, I think you'll find it's not that terribly difficult. But before we begin the tutorial, if you are new to my channel, I post at least 2 or more Sims videos a week, including builds, tutorials, challenges, pack reviews, fashion shows, cast videos, and more. So if Sims is your thing, definitely hit that subscribe button below and the little bell so that you don't miss it when I release new videos. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so here is our house we're going to roof, and there are a few things significant about this house that have to do with the roof. Now, this is one of those types of roofs that it really kind of helps if you think in advance about what you're doing, and this type of build makes it pretty easy to do this type of roof. One of the things that's kind of easy is this straight line back here. We're going to have a straight line of dormers. That's pretty common with this roof type, and then just a couple of jut outs, and then this top piece here, as you can see, is 4x4, and that's kind of significant too. We're going to end up with a bit of a hole in the top that we're going to have to take care of. It makes it much easier if it's even. In other words, a 4x4 versus an odd size. So the sizes that I've chosen for everything, the way that I've done this is significant in that it makes it a little bit easier if you use this type of build to do this. All right, so we're going to start with the room tool, and I'm going to turn grid lines on, and I'm going to go down to this main floor here so that we can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a room that's 1 square in from the outside from the perimeter. So we've got 1 square in going all the way around, and I want 1 square in here too. So there we go. And there we go. So now I have a square going around the entire perimeter, a single square. So that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Now I'm going to head off to the roof tool, and I'm going to select one of these half-hipped roofs. I'm going to stick this up over here. I'm going to bring it back all the way so that it's only that 1 square wide. And then I'm going to take it down all the way and bring it up to the top of that floor. No higher though, because I don't want it to kind of encroach over. I want to be able to use this as living space in here. And so I don't want this roof kind of being over anything and sticking in anywhere. Now, I just used this paint from this roof here. That's the type of pattern that I'm selecting for this. And then I need my roof trim. Now, the roof trim is a little bit significant because I'm going to angle this roof, and I need to use this angled out roof trim if I angle the roof. Otherwise, the corners are going to look funky. So this selection on the roof trim is significant, the angled out roof trim. And it's significant because I'm going to take this roof here, I'm going to do a Shift C on it, bring up the extra dots, and I'm going to do a little bit of angling on this roof and see if I can get a nice little angle on it that I like and that I'm satisfied with. That looks good. That's a pretty nice, smooth little angle on the roof. Hopefully y'all can see that. So I like it. I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, I ended up going too high on that roof. It needs to stay there. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to take this roof piece. Actually, before I copy it, I almost was going to copy it. I'm going to paint the inside too. I'm basically having this roof piece entirely prepared with paint, with everything that I want on it, because we're going to copy the roof piece all over the place. And if you've ever done roofing tutorials with me before, you know that's a common theme. I do a lot of copying the stuff all over the place. Copy is your friend. I'm just going to choose one of these black colors. It really doesn't matter. There's black in base game too, whatever you like. I just happen to like that one from Spa Day. All right, so now I'm going to take this piece and I am going to copy it all over the place. And hopefully get it into the right slots. So copying it here, copying it here. Going to copy it over here. and I'm turning it a gazillion times. I'm using the left and right arrow to turn, and I'm turning it way more than I need to just because I keep turning it too much or the wrong way. So there we go, copying it over here, and here I'm going to drag it out all the way. So all right, so this is our base roof part. Now we have these little front sections, and same thing, I'm just going to copy, put it over here, push it in. Same thing on this side, and now I'm going to copy it and do each of these sides here. This, I can bring this in a little bit, copy this piece, put it over here. Rotate it, place it here, place it here. Beautiful. So, all right, so now we have our base roof structure on. Next up are the dormers. So I'm going to go back into our room tool here, and I'm just going to put a little square going off of this room here, and I'm going to paint it with this simple siding. I'm going to choose a window for it. And it can be whatever window you like. I'm just going to choose this one. I feel like it goes pretty well. And I'm going to put a little roof piece on that. And I'm choosing to use a gable roof. And I'm just going to use this one just for ease. And just make it so that it's 1 by 1. I'm going to take the eaves off of it completely. I don't want any eaves on it. And that's an aesthetic choice. You may like to have eaves on there or not. That's up to you. I'm going to give it a little bit of a point here. That's probably good. And then I'm going to stick that other trim on it, only I'm going to do it in black. Now this part, it's not so significant what trim you use on there like it is on the other pieces, but it's just, I'm just choosing it for consistency's sake. Now I have this dormer, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dormer, if I can click on it, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it right here. And then I'm going to take the roof piece, copy it, and paste it right here. And now I'm going to repeat that same process over here and across the entire back, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so now I have my dormers in the front, I have my dormers in the back, and my choice was 2 spaces between each of these. So it's a little bit more space than the ones in the front. And now the next piece is some kind of trim around the top edge. Now there are so many different ways that you can do this. You can take your room tool and go all the way around the perimeter and then do one of the short roof sizes, or short wall sizes rather, wall heights, and do this, use your choice of paint. You can use fences. There's multiple different fences that will work for this. And actually I'm gonna go with a fence. I like the wrought iron fence for this. So I'm actually gonna go with this fence here, and that's what I'm gonna use for my perimeter. But really you can use whatever you like for the perimeter, and now that's done. All right, so our next piece after that is just putting something up at the top. I'm going to go with this here. You can choose again whatever kind of flooring you want. If you don't have, this happens to be a spooky flooring. If you don't have that, just use something from base game or whatever you do have, and just the flooring of your choice on the top. Now you'll notice that we have a white line going around here. Now you can either choose to paint this, and it's drywall. You can see the little holes, it's drywall. So you can either choose to paint that black, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some roof trim up there. So I like this particular trim for this. So I'm going to throw some roof trim on there, and that goes around the perimeter. Now that will only work if you have a fence or a wall or something up there. So you have to have something up there before you use the roof trim, and just click it up there. Now, you can use Shift to get roof trim up there in some cases, which is going to apply for this top section that we're doing next. I want to put a frieze up there, and this top section, like this part, is a short wall, and I want one of these really tall friezes, and they won't go if I just click there. It does nothing. I have to actually click Shift, and then if I click Shift, I can do it one piece at a time, and not there. That's not where we want it. There we go. I can do it one piece at a time, and that works beautifully. All right, I'm going to color the bottom of this black, or the top of this, however you want to look at it. And you can use whatever you like for that. I just want to color that because I don't want any white to show through on this next part, because we are going to end up with a hole in the top. So what we're going to do is I'm going to copy one of these roof pieces down here, get it up top, going to widen that, and then I'm going to copy it and put it down all the way around. And now you can see what I mean by we end up with a hole. Whoops, wrong spot. There we go. And now you can see the hole that we end up with. So that's a slight problem, but not too terrible of a problem. But it exists because we are on the 5th floor. And because we are on the 5th floor, as most of you will know, we can't build any more walls. We can't build up that high. So we have that bit of a hole, but it's not a huge problem. But the other thing we have is we've got this white little piece around here, and that's coming from the roof trim. I'm just going to put black roof trim to match, have it match it. And we're going to cover that anyway. And there's multiple other ways you can cover it too. I'm just fine with the black trim for this. Now, the piece that I'm going to use to cover this is actually a debug piece, which means that you have access to it. It's a base game debug piece. So I'm going to click on base game here, and then I'm going to search on debug in here. And now if you have any experience with debug, it takes forever to find things sometimes. I will tell you that I know that this piece is next to a red and white awning when I search for base game. There it is. There's the red and white awning, and there is the black square that I'm looking for. So this looks like, I don't know, maybe a manhole cover or something, I guess. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm going to stick it right in the middle here. I'm going to increase its size by using the greater than, or not the greater than, the right bracket key. And then I'm going to click the number 9 and bring it up to the top. So that's beautiful. Now, you could leave this like this. I don't particularly like it because I can still see that trim thing, and I want it to look more decorative anyway. So you can put something around it. Now you can find something in debug, you can find something in your regular stuff. There are a bunch of different things that you can put around it. In looking through the stuff, there was an item that I decided I liked best for this, and it happens to be from Vampire Pack, from the Vampire Pack. And so that is what I'm going to use for this. It's a Vampire Pack fence that I like for this. So here is the Vampire Pack fence that I like for this, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go to the side here and click the 9 button till it goes up to the top. I don't even want the whole fence to show though. I kind of just want the top section like so to show, because I just want this as a decorative piece. So then you can add in decorations like this, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to put it around the perimeter and get right back with you. Okay, so that's done. That to me makes it look a little bit prettier. I like the little bit of extra decoration. And there's one more piece that I'm going to add that I think is a cool piece. It comes from Strangerville. A lot of this house, actually, the windows and many of the items come from Strangerville in this house, actually. So I don't know. There's just this particular item here, the custom style tileables. Yeah. That thing, I think that it looks good across the top, and so I'm going to put this kind of all over the place here, and I'll be back with you again. So all right, that's done, and I decided to put it around the top too because I felt that it made it look prettier. And so you could almost finish your roofing here, but if you want a true mansard roof, you do have to add a top slope in. So I'm going to select this hip roof here, and I'm going to put that down, and of course I'm going to color it and trim it and all of that good stuff so that it fits in. And now I'm just going to make it fit the top of this and make sure that it's shallow, because it is a mansard roof, and mansard roofing is shallow at the top. That's one of its characteristics. You want it to barely be able to be seen from the street. So that's probably about as high as it would go right there. And so there we have it. The two separate slopes, the first slope and the second slope, that is distinctive of mansard roofing. And so this is how you do it. And if this was helpful to you, don't forget to hit that like button below. Definitely give me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any other ideas that you want done for tutorials, and also definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. And thanks so much for spending the time with me today. Hope to see you all back again next time. Bye now.